I'm Dayna J. Francois, and you're listening to Stirring the Plot. Whether you're gay, hot, or doing it for the plot, this is the podcast for you. We're here and we're queer, we're gay and we slay. And today's episode is basically my love letter to no longer setting myself on fire to keep other people warm. I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because you can be someone's emotional life raft doesn't mean that you should be. So today we're going to be talking about codependency, reclaiming your independence, and learning how to be the main character in your own fucking life. And to help me unpack all of this is none other than one of my best friends, my partner in lesbian crime, my fellow emotionally intelligent but slightly unhinged bad bitch, Alexa.
Hey girl.
What's up?
I like to pretend that I'm shy, but we all know I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. No, she's not. There's layers.
Yeah.
So Alexa, welcome to the pod. How are you feeling? Are you excited to be here? Are you nervous?
Feeling an overwhelming amount of everything in a good way.
There you go, exactly. I feel like we should introduce you to the listeners. Let them know a little bit about yourself, your name, your sexuality, your pronouns, and what's up.
Oh my gosh. First of all, it's such an honor to literally be a part of your life and see this journey through life. I admire you so much, so I love you.
Stop,
girl.
I love you.
Literally you and Jen, I cannot stop thanking the universe for y'all. But no, it's so sweet. You have a way with words. So hi y'all. My name is Alexa. I go by she, her, ella pronouns. Kid of an immigrant, Mexican American.
Period.
Parents are from Mexico. And I do identify proudly now as a lesbian.
Hey, mama.
Yeah, I'm for the girls and the they. So, and what's up? I don't know, man. What do you want to know? I'm an open book.
Yeah, like so this episode and what we're about to jump into is something that I've really been thinking a lot about lately. I asked myself a question first and built it kind of around this, but I literally stopped, took a minute, and was like, when did I sign up for the unpaid role of everyone's like emotional support lesbian almost, or just like emotional support person? Like, when did I take on, and thinking about like past relationships, not even just like romantic relationships, but even just growing up and realizing how much that environment affected how I am now and even how I am as a partner. That's just the natural progression of things too. And so sometimes I would ask myself, like, why did I think that love, even if we're talking romantic, we're talking platonic, either way, why did I think love meant making myself small? Like, I had to be small, I had to be quiet, and I had to be easy to consume. Like, very digestible for someone else, palatable for them, you know? But like, no, like, fuck no, like, we don't need to do that. And I think that when we're talking about intentionality and moving forward in this new year, it's not shrinking ourselves for anybody in 2025, you know? We're gonna take up space and we're gonna set boundaries and we're gonna just continue to be hot and unbothered.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right, so today we're diving into how our childhood and family dynamics made us prime candidates for codependency, the way we lost ourselves in some relationships and even friendships trying to keep other people happy, and most importantly, how we are going to unlearn all of that and step into being this delicious, radiant, self-prioritizing bad bitch that we're always meant to be. One thing, listeners, that I want you to take away from this episode is going to be that love is not self-sacrifice, it's just reciprocity, simple. If I wanted to be somebody's therapist, we'd be billing them. Listeners, grab a drink, grab a snack, text your ex that you're no longer emotionally available for them, and let's get into this episode. All right, Alexa, we both know that I personally have a history of being a people pleaser, and I am currently a recovering people pleaser and an emotional support lesbian and someone who just used to shapeshift into whatever made other people feel more comfortable. But I feel like lately started in 2024, and I'm continuing this energy now as being someone who's reclaiming my own narrative, and I'm not going to dim my light for anyone else, and I see that for you too. I guess it just makes you wonder, like, when do you really first realize that you had to stop dimming yourself for other people? And sometimes it can go as like far back as like childhood. And this might sound so dramatic, listeners, but I had this realization that my first like toxic relationship, quote unquote, was just the idea that I had to just present myself as being like the perfect daughter. You know, I was like a pastor's daughter, I was the adopted one, and like all these things. And so I had to like kind of show up and camouflage myself into what other people were expecting me to show up as. A lot of masking, you know, and I've been doing that my whole life, you know, and that's something that I'm still unlearning today, like as a fucking adult, you know, not masking myself in public.
Takes a lot of mastering.
Really?
It's a never-ending story
100%.
too, but it's so worth,
you know,
the progress.
100%. And so I just wonder, like, do you think that our relationships with our parents especially set us up for codependency in relationships, in friendships? And I guess at what point did you realize that you just had to detach yourself from like that narrative, that expectation?
Well, first and foremost, I am very close to my immediate family. I have experienced heartbreaks, but also I would take a moment in gratitude, knowing that the type of relationship that we have and the closeness that we have, just because it was only us like living here in the States. The rest of my extended family was in Mexico. Most of my time spent was with my immediate family, just given me a lot of love. They gave me a lot of protection, just amazing qualities from them. But I think the thing that did divide us at one point was in a Latino community, being gay, especially being a feminine presenting woman, being firstborn daughter, the oldest, certainly a lot of pressure. They've given me my wings, but definitely felt like I had to dim my light just because of what they had struggled with me being queer and such, and always just having fear of, you know, losing them. So that did put some challenges, but total 180 from now. But I think definitely like lying for so long throughout my teenage years, just hiding like me exploring connections and really feeling like I didn't have to force myself to be with a boy or anything. Definitely it was heartbreaking seeing them being disappointed at the time. I didn't want to lose what I had, so I did feel like I had to do a lot of masking and a lot of sneaking around and really pushing boundaries and things, just being really good at lying and just kind of like doing what it is to satisfy and not cause any conflict or anything. So I always felt like it was just maybe better to not say anything and just kind of deal with it on my own, and probably not the most productive way. But I came out at 19, so probably maybe they took maybe like about 5 years or so to come around. It was usually like just leave that at the door type of thing. So I did feel couldn't really be authentic in who I was, or even just share normal relationship tips or things that I had with my ex at the time that I was living with. So that did kind of put a lot of issues.
Were you still at home like when you came out originally, or had you already left? Like,
I came out when I was still living at home. But probably a few months before, I was hanging out with my girlfriend at the time, and I was kind of like trying to stand up for myself, and just remembering the prior times I tried to come out. Finally they came around, but my ex and I, we were probably more together to prove a point, but there was just that point of comfortableness and just always wanting to be on their good graces and being the domesticated emotional support. I don't know. I mean, if I'm committed, I'm committed, but
sometimes at what cost?
Exactly. And I recall the last few arguments, she literally looked at me and told me, "You don't have a personality." And that was a wake-up call.
That's fucking insane
to me.
Because what?
Yeah. But I didn't fault her for telling me that. I was actually, even right now, like, I'm really grateful for that feedback, because we had been together for 5 years. I moved out after I came out. A couple months after, a conflict had happened. And I just didn't really, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to go back home. And I was just being happy and content that I was like with her and
Yeah.
just wanted to start living my life and
just be your most authentic self and
absolutely
start working, heading on that journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just learning the ways and just giving into what we had built. And I did feel like I did push my own needs.
Yeah. What's
to the
amazing
side.
What's amazing though is seeing now, like me, like on this outside perspective too, but seeing you in that environment with like your family now, you know, and just seeing like the relationship between you and your parents. And
Oh
like,
my goodness.
I'm just like, oh, that is like beautiful, you know, and just from meeting your mom and meeting your dad, I was just
Oh
like,
my
they're
gosh.
just so like, are you kidding? Like they're so great.
They're
and,
so
like,
warm and welcoming.
yeah, so like just
and
felt,
allies too.
just felt healing being in your home. Like, you know, I was just like, oh my god, like this is what a queer kid wants to feel like.
Oh
in here,
my gosh.
you know? Yeah,
totally embracing my authentic queer joy. And I do not take that moment for granted.
Yeah. I want to shift gears just a little bit. As you know, I'm like the queen of situationships. Also, just like, I think something that I notice a lot or had to like navigate and learn, I think for me as being like, I guess like attachment style, as like a recovering avoidant, I had like weird codependency like issues, but also still at an arm's length in a way, because it's like, well, I like this push and pull dynamic. I, you know, want to chase you. I want you to chase me. And navigating codependency and navigating attachment styles. Would you say it depends like on your relationships? Of course, attachment style can shift. Like for you when you're navigating these like relationships and stuff like that, what do you think like the biggest red flag that you ignored because you thought love really just meant like fixing someone else?
I feel like I'm at a point where I've really been embracing my solitude and just refusing to take less than what I deserve.
There you go.
Taking that turn obviously maybe indicates that you've experienced the opposite.
Yeah, of course.
My goodness. Yeah, I think growing in a way that made me feel more secure of who I was and just realizing that I had an intuition. I think I want something sustainable and build on a good foundation.
Yeah.
Being okay with knowing that you're gonna disappoint people.
Yeah.
But which is fine.
Exactly, because honestly, like you literally have to prioritize yourself for your mental health, for your well-being. Like you have to and sometimes it is so hard because like again, that's like how you get into this cycle, and it's so hard to break that cycle where you're in it, where you're like, well, I'm just gonna, you know, this person putting their needs before myself, gonna just do what I can to replenish their cup, pour into them, all that kind of stuff. And you're realizing I have literally nothing left to give you. And I've been in this situation where I literally was like, with my words, with my energy, with my time, with everything, where the state of our relationship ended up, it was like I literally have absolutely nothing left to give you. There's nothing here. And they mistook it for me being cold. They mistook it for me being, you know, like hated them, like there was no love there, being like just completely devoid of emotion. But it was like, no, you literally were like a damn vampire and you sucked me dry.
Exactly.
I have literally nothing left because I poured everything into you.
Because they're looking for something that they don't have.
Yeah. Exactly. And when they take it all and then you turn around and like, I have nothing, then, oh, but now you're the bad guy.
No, absolutely.
You
the gaslighting.
Literally. It's like then they need to switch the narrative in their head to like make you're the
absolutely.
Villain.
Yeah.
So.
But being able to have the emotional awareness to like recognize and see all that. And then like now knowing the red flags and being at peace and okay that, you know, things didn't work out.
What do you think, what is a time in a past relationship where you just realize like, oh my God, like I just have fully lost myself just trying to keep you happy. And it's time for me to finally just like, you know, like the meme, I gotta put me first. You know, like literally like, holy crap, how did I get here, you know?
Truly, yeah. I think it's just, I just had a very familiar feeling with kind of suppressing your gut feeling.
Yeah.
I think really reflecting back something that I need to interpret that I experienced a lot of growth.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence. Grateful, like, for the experience. I'm such, like, an experienced girly. Like, my love language is quality time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I feel like it doesn't matter where you're at. It's the people. So, yeah, I do get really invested into things. I'm just a passionate person. But just, I don't know. I feel like us as humans, we need to connect with one another, and it's truly something special that can be copied but not duplicated.
Aye, period. Retweet that. Y'all heard that?
But just realizing that, like Bad Bunny says, yo hago lo que me da la gana, so I do whatever I want. So yeah, there was a lot of kickback between me defending, like, my independence.
If the idea of codependency had, like, I'm thinking like Super Mario Bros, like, has like a boss level, like a final boss level, you know? What do you think yours would look like?
I feel like it would be my mother.
Okay.
But just realizing that it doesn't really, I mean, a debate, yes, but a fight, no.
Well, of course, yeah.
But, I mean,
that's who you're facing off.
Yeah. That's my ride or die, my best friend, my mom. No, it's truly amazing how people can, like, literally break generational trauma.
Which you fucking did.
Yeah.
And you should be proud of yourself for that.
Like I said, we're given our wings, but yeah, I think I just had to kind of stop my growth and just kind of try it their way, but also still show resilience in knowing that one day it's gonna be fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely hold the girl moment.
Oh my God, yes. Can I just say, you saying that literally transported me in time to when, like, one of the first times that I met you and we were having a conversation about, like honestly, we were bonding. We were getting deep.
Which
like,
time,
it was crazy.
girl?
No, literally. Like, from the jump, and that's how I knew. I was like, this bitch is gonna be in my life, because, like, the conversations, they're thought-provoking, they're deep, they're like, we're trauma bonding. Not really, but you know what I mean. And
no, I literally fell in love with you the first day we met.
Stop, me too. Literally, me too, babe. I promise.
Shout out to Buena Vida Bodega.
100%. Like, oh my God, it's magical. Like, it feels like it's been like 20 years.
It's just getting started.
Besties. No, it transported me back in time to when I literally remember you saying, like, you were talking about this specific moment and how it kind of, like, changed you, but you look back on that as, like, who you are now, and looking back at who you were, and you're like, yeah, it was just a very, like, hold the girl moment. And, like, when you said that, I was like, oh my God, a poet is fucking born. Are you kidding?
Stop,
Hold the girl moment was like, you just brought that back, and I was like, when she said that, I wanted to, like, write that down in, like, a fucking quote book, because, like, a hold the girl moment was so real when you said that, because there are moments when you look back, who you are now as your most authentic self, who's resilient as fuck, who's gone through the fucking flames to get to the other side, looking back on who you were, and, like, your heart just being so heavy, and you're just like, yeah, that's a hold the girl moment. Like, I wish that I could go back and just fucking hold myself and give her a hug and let her know, like, this is where you're gonna be soon, and I promise you, hold on, you know?
Yeah, but just, like, knowing and having that hope.
Yes.
Even in moments of sometimes despair, but, like, just the resilience, like, it just feels such an honor to be living my authentic self.
Yes.
At all costs. Cuesta lo que cuesta.
Oh, period.
Wow. Sorry, I'm just, like, really flattered that, like, you were just gassing me up earlier.
You absolutely ate, devoured, left no crumbs with that.
No,
I literally was like,
that's why you're my best.
She kind of just, like, altered my brain chemistry by saying that. It's crazy. I was like, wait.
No, it's like when you send in the group chat, Las Mamacitas group chat, the reverse Uno, the girly one with all the emojis and stuff. Ugh.
100% that was me in that moment. Like, babe.
I just love how we can experience true girl power.
Oh, honestly.
Moment.
Being with you and Jen and just, like, having this relationship, I'm literally just like, oh, I can't believe that I've just been so dramatic, but I can't believe I've just been, like, searching my whole life for, like, this kind of, like, friendship, and just, like, I don't know how I'm so lucky to have stumbled into it. And, like, every day I'm just gonna, like, just cry, because I'm just like, I love you guys so much.
No,
it's
truly.
Like,
truly.
it's Like I'm just so grateful to have met you guys, and I'm just like, I can't even, like, I don't even remember what life was like before knowing you. Like, you know, it's crazy.
Again, hold the girl moment. I remember we were getting ready for our pool party, and I was like, hey girl, like, come get ready with me at my place. Like, you know, like, I don't know, just very inner child healing. And like, we both kind of, I felt like that's when we took it to the next level. But like, I fucking love you. No, but definitely hold the girl moment. I'm so grateful. Yeah, it's definitely, this is our year. Main character energy, no competition, reciprocated love.
No tea, no shade, but only sometimes. Oh my gosh, 100%. I love that we're like talking about like friendship and community, because I think in friendship and in our community and in the connections that we're building is like realizing how, the power of like platonic love, and how everything else can make you feel slightly like off balance, but when you just let yourself exist in this, you're like, I'm finding balance in the platonic love and it's saving me. Crazy.
Yeah.
Love it.
But it's also being able to embrace your true self and not masking.
100%. And it's just like feeling like,
not feeling like you gotta lie to kick it. Refreshing, fresh breath of air. Very grounding. And I've said that from the jump. Because if it's not gonna enhance our lives, because damn, like, you know, we're so busy.
Yeah.
We're all trying to live our vida loca one day at a time.
Yes.
So I feel like it should be very empowering and uplifting and like wonderful to experience and celebrate life.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're so busy like doing our very best within ourselves and relationships, etc. But like time is very precious.
Yeah. I feel like I love looking at you, and I love seeing like the relationships that you have in your life. Of course, I love being like a part of it, and like I love our little like, you know, besties moment that we have. But also I do love just seeing like, oh my god, I love that Lex has a community, a village around her, you know, like I love seeing your little different groups that you go out with, and just like how you have so much love coming from all these different channels, and it just makes me feel happy like for you, because I love you, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just so happy that she's so loved, like, you know. What I love though, like honestly, seeing you navigate like the world, is you show such resilience, and you show just like so, like you're just so wise, and I like look up to you, you know, how you just walk through the world just like a little bubble of like bright light. Like it's so refreshing, because like I try not to be like so pessimistic, you know, even with like the state of the world and everything that's going on, and how it's so hard to exist in a world that's trying to make you hard, and you know, and trying to snuff out your light. But you just are just like this bright light that just exists in this world, and I'm just like, oh, like being around like your energy's like contagious, you know, like it uplifts me, honestly. And like it's amazing to see you keep that, like, and I know you. It's contagious, and it makes me want to just like continue to just be like optimistic and bubbly and happy, like just being around your energy. And I'm just like, damn girl, how do you even period. I wrote this, and I'm just like looking back, and I'm like, this is so stupid, but I'm just like, I said, I'm officially out of my mothering era, and I'm into my it's reciprocity or nothing era. So I guess what's something for you that is like, this is something I'm big thinking right now, like especially when I'm thinking about when it comes to relationships, because I'm like 2024 brought some friendship breakups and all this kind of stuff, moving forward with intentionality in platonic relationships, but also romantic relationships, walking into it with intention, but knowing like these are my non-negotiables going into this. And so like, what do you think for you in friendships, in relationships, like what's a non-negotiable for you, like that you're gonna step into with intention for 2025?
I'd probably say if there is any jeopardy of like someone making me feel like I have to choose them over my independence and interests. Yeah, I feel like a red flag is when they try to show
100%.
like possessiveness. I mean, I'm a little toxica, but like
I mean, I think just love like a little bit, right? I'm just kidding.
Like Amigo Princess Peach.
Yes.
A little bit.
That's 100%. Like, honestly, that's a good non-negotiable, and I feel like I need to carry that as well. Because, like, yeah, you shouldn't ever choose someone
to
else
dim
over
your sparkle.
for anybody.
For anybody.
Fuck no, we're not doing that.
No.
I think also, to that same, like, sentiment, to your point, is I don't want to, not necessarily like, I don't want to like put someone else's like before myself and like choose like, but just with the intention of being like, I don't want to water down like myself. Like in my last like relationship, I felt like I had to make myself like palatable. Like I had to really kind of not hide, but like really mute my like self. And I'm like, when I'm being so for real, like I am, like I'm a little quirky, like, you know, I'm a little quirky,
baby girl.
I'm, you know, dry, sarcastic, silly, goofy, love to gossip. Like I'm literally just a girl. Like I have quirks and I have a very niche personality, you know, and like I just love to just exist in these spaces where I can fully be me and like be my authentic self and like
absolutely
have these people celebrate that part of me. Where in like my last relationship, I felt like I was like, oh, like I can't be myself because you literally don't like me, so like let me make myself
truly
what you want me to be.
No,
let me
truly
like bend to that.
No, one of my tias sent me something super fucking sweet. It was something that she shared on Instagram, and it said that I will no longer lower myself from the highest shelf for you to be able to reach me.
Oh my god. Retweet. Retweet for
which was so beautiful and empowering, because you know we can think a lot of things. Like I said, perspective is everything, but truly just knowing who the fuck we are. Exactly. It just feels wonderful reaping the benefits of like realizing like how the capacity that you have to fill your own cup.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And not like, you know, begging for scraps.
Literally. Say it again.
But just like, you know, realizing that, hey, if we're not on the same wavelength, then there's no reason to
see yourself out.
Yeah. Or I'll see myself out.
I'll see myself out.
Thank you.
Actually, my Uber is here and I'm actually in it and I'm driving away.
Yeah. No, it just feels like just, again, filling my own cup and just really, I mean, who's going to take care of ourselves better than us?
Period.
Us.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Full circle moment. My closing question is, if you could sit down with past you, and that's you who stuck to codependent cycles, who put everyone else first, who thought love meant shrinking to fit. If you could sit down with her now, today, what would you tell her?
I would say stay true to what you want at all costs.
At all costs.
Because what's the worst that could happen?
There you go. And in the meantime, one hell of a story. Gotta say. I think for me, I would say look at where you are and be proud of that, and be proud that you take up space, and be proud that you have something to say, and be proud that you're here. Because for so long, I questioned all three of those things, you know? And so I would just say, girl.
Hell yeah, retweet.
Real proud, so yeah. Well, listeners, that is how you reclaim your sparkle. That is how you step out of the shadows of codependent past and into your bad bitch era. Because listen, your worth is not determined by how much of yourself you give, if that makes sense. You don't need to be the fixer or the problem solver, the emotional, like a landfill where other people just dump everything, all their issues. You just get to be yourself. You get to be whole, you get to be radiant and unapologetically focused on your own damn joy. So tell yourself that, remember that. And I know that we covered a lot today. I love that we touched on how our childhood basically sets us up to be like these emotional martyrs to exes who thrived off the need to be needed, or how we're learning to choose ourselves, and that doesn't make us selfish. It just makes us human, you know? I think if you take nothing else from this episode, take this one piece. You are not a rehabilitation center for emotionally stunted people. You are not a museum exhibit for people to admire but never truly appreciate. You are definitely not this 24-hour, 7 days a week hotline for people who only remember your number when they need something from you. You deserve relationships that feel like home and not like a job, you know?
I feel like also don't forget to take care of yourself, especially during these moments now, whatever mountains we feel like we have to hurdle through, it'll all be okay, but
Exactly.
don't forget to always take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But I read something that was posted by unapologetically.latina. It says they're scared of Latinas because we're not naive, we're not submissive, we do not tolerate BS. We're done being calladitas. We speak up and speak loud. We're educated, ambitious, and independent. We stand up for what's right and call out injustice. We trust our intuition and our own power. We're healers, leaders, and game changers. We honor our roots, break cycles, and rewrite the rules.
Period. I love that.
Yeah.
Copy for
Something
that.
to resonate.
And if there's anything you guys know from listening to this podcast, it's all about take what resonates and leave the rest. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And I think that's like a perfect note to like end on. So with that, we're going to officially wrap up today's episode. If you loved this conversation, make sure that you leave a review, and why don't you try sharing it with your emotionally available friends? If you're enjoying my podcast, don't forget to rate it 5 stars, because it not only lets me know that you enjoy listening, but it also helps my podcast get boosted so that I can reach a wider audience. Follow at Stirring the Pod on all social media platforms to stay up to date and never miss an episode. If you'd like to connect with me, I am just at Dayna J Francois on all social media platforms. Where can they find you on socials, Alexa?
You can follow me on Instagram.
Hi.
My username is _Alexa with 3 A's at the end, SN.
Period. And just remember, I will have everything linked in the show notes. So I guess with that being said, if you liked listening, make sure that you subscribe to my podcast and tune in weekly. Because I'm gay, I'm hot, and if there's one thing about me,
She's doing it for the plot.
I'm gonna stir the plot. Bye, guys.